Greetings, fellow detectives. Wizard Kitten here, bringing you a new build in my series building Nancy Drew in The Sims 4. Today we are continuing our little mini series where I get to build an entire house or apartment based off of a single Nancy Drew game. This includes the color scheme of the game, the vibe and atmosphere of the game, specific items from the game, and then the plot and mystery from the game as well. And we just recently had a new expansion pack release for The Sims 4, The Sims 4 Growing Together expansion pack, and I wanted to build for a game that would really let me play around with some of the new items from that pack, and I figured that Nancy Drew, Secret of the Scarlet Hand, would actually be a fantastic fit for the style of build items that we got in this pack. So hopefully you all agree. Basically, what we have going on for this house is lots of green and lots of red. Green, of course, is a major color for Secret of the Scarlet Hand in the cover art, and with the jade theme, the jade color being really prized among the Maya in the mystery, and just like really driven home throughout the entire mystery that the Maya loved jade. So all sorts of green throughout this build, and then all sorts of red because of course we have the titular Scarlet Hand, so I definitely had to include a lot of red accents in this build as well. Green and red are colors that are not always so easy to decorate with together, but I am really happy with how this build turned out, especially because I used quite a bit of brown to kind of anchor those two colors and then bring them together. And using the green, the red, and the brown with all of these build items and some of the new buy items as well also kind of helped to anchor the style of the house. I wanted to go for something that was a little bit outdated, a little bit old school. Almost like if you look at the outside of this house, I could easily imagine this being built in like the late 80s in the US, in the United States, or maybe the early 90s. So it's a little bit outdated on the exterior and interior, but it's really well cared for. And I think the family that put this together, all of the furnishings go really well together. Like, it's a very cohesive theme. So even though things might not look super clean or bright or minimalist or anything like that, I think it still ends up being a very classy house, which I think is also excellent for a house that's built off of a game that's entirely revolves around a museum, because museums are, you know, a little bit old. They're filled with some old historical things, and they're also classy establishments. So that's what we're going for. That's the vibe that we were trying to hit. I also thought Secret of the Scarlet Hand would be perfect to go with The Sims 4 Growing Together, because there's randomly multiple travel-based items in this pack. Decor posters for like different travel posters around the world. Lots of suitcase kind of inspired decor. There's a shelf that has a lot of suitcases, and then of course with the new stayover feature that came with this pack, Sims can actually carry suitcases around now. And I figured, I mean, museums, archaeology, traveling around the world, visiting different places around the world. So this house is definitely decorated with items inspired by a variety of different cultures from around the world as well. So we've got several different themes going on. I did also include a bunch of different, very specific items to Secret of the Scarlet Hand, like things that we might see in Beach Hill Museum, or things that we might see at Taylor Sinclair's office or Alejandro Del Rio's office. So stuff like that as well. We'll see as we start to get closer to the actual furnishing of the house, but right now we are just building the house, and this house is very classic kind of suburban shape. I spent quite a bit of time trying to get the windows to work out how I wanted them. It's very symmetrical, which I think is very common among a lot of suburban houses here in the US. So very symmetrical. Same with the landscaping when we eventually do the landscaping as well. on both sides, and I tried to keep it symmetrical with the windows as well. I think I do end up managing that, while also still trying to give this house dimension, because that can be one of the tricks in The Sims 4, is building something that looks like a realistic house while also building a house that looks interesting in The Sims. That can be the challenge for sure, and making sure that the house works with where the windows need to go, where kitchens need to go, bathrooms, all that good stuff. So we've spent a good amount of time here just placing the windows. I do love the new windows that came with this expansion pack. I think they are gorgeous. I spent forever here looking for a paint swatch to match the green on these beautiful new tiles that we got, which I think are lovely, but I would have really loved if we had also gotten paint colors that matched them so that the whole room didn't have to be tile and I could easily switch over to something else. I could not find a matching green for the life of me, but that's okay. We make it work. We work with the tiles. We also got these beautiful herringbone tiles, which I of course used in the green for all of the bathrooms. Here I'm pulling out a bunch of the travel themed items, a lot of the new artwork. Basically used every possible version of the artwork because all of it, again, was inspired by different cultures around the world, different locations around the world. There's going to be multiple globes in this house, the globe bar, a little decorative globe. I also thought that the leaf wallpaper in the main bedroom worked out really nicely. One, because it was green and brown, so we're fitting the color scheme, but also two, because it definitely kind of gave me tropical Central America, South America type vibes, and I thought I don't get chances to use that wallpaper a whole lot, so I thought it worked really nicely here. I really like how it looked. You may have noticed as well that in the kids' bedroom I put dinosaur wallpaper, and I like the idea that the child in this family wants to be a paleontologist one day, because the family that I imagine living in this house, again, were inspired by Nancy Drew's Secret of the Scarlet Hand. Both of the parents are archaeologists. So in The Sims 4, canonically, this would mean that they go to the world of Selva Dorada and they find artifacts there. They use the archaeology skill and make quite a bit of money that way. Archaeology is a very lucrative live career for your Sims to choose. If you're ever wanting to make a Sim get rich, archaeology is not a bad way to go. It's very active. You have to be very active with that Sim. However, you can make a lot of money with just a couple of vacations to Selva Dorada. So yeah, both of the parents for this family are archaeologists, and they have two children. I imagined a teen and a child Sim, so I didn't make use of any of the new infant stuff in this build just because I didn't think it worked with the story that I was going with for the family or for kind of Secret of the Scarlet Hand as a vibe overall. But speaking of infants, while we're working on the landscaping here and we have time, oh my goodness, I love having infants in the game. One, they are so cute. They're just adorable. And two, it really does improve the realism at a level that I didn't even know I was missing in The Sims 4, but I definitely was. The fact that we start with the newborns and then they turn into these cute little babies that have to learn all of the skills before becoming a toddler, because the toddler skills that they learn make sense for that age, but there are so many important developmental milestones that are skipped if you just move from a newborn to a toddler. And as a speech therapist, where the majority of my training is in human development and child development, like, these milestones are my job. They are my life. So getting to see them actually existing in The Sims has been very exciting. I am still working with my random Sims 4 Packs Legacy Challenge. I am on the 16th generation, and the heir for that generation just had, well, didn't just have. I've been playing it quite a bit, so it was a little while ago, but she had two children, and getting to play with infants for the first time was pretty mind-blowing. So I am very excited about this expansion pack. The build buy items are a little bit limited compared to things that we've gotten in other other expansion packs. It's honestly not that limited, but this pack definitely does focus more on gameplay. And I've been seeing a lot of other Sims 4 YouTubers saying the same thing, where gameplay, this pack really goes hard and it does so many fantastic things for gameplay. Build buy is a little bit more limited. The Kaz is beautiful. I love all parts of The Sims 4. I'm one of those people who like Kaz, gameplay, build buy. I love it all. Give it all to me. But I probably spend the least amount of time in Create a Sim, and I still really enjoyed the items in Create a Sim. I think they're really cute. Obviously, the big standout is all of the new stuff for the infants. They are extremely adorable. So overall, absolutely loving The Sims 4 growing together as an expansion pack. Definitely a must-have for my game now. Absolutely wouldn't be playing without it. It has reached Seasons tier for me, where it's like I would not enjoy playing The Sims if this wasn't in my game. Like, I enjoyed playing The Sims before it existed, but knowing that it exists now, I can't not have it. It's game-changing and will affect the life of every single sim that I play, and that's what I really, really love. Those are the packs that really bring me the most joy. Seasons is one of those, Pets is another, University is one of those for me. I know that's not the case for everyone, but yeah, there we are. I love it. I'm a big fan. But having rambled through all of the landscaping, we are now officially on the inside. I imagine that both of the parents are big coffee and tea drinkers. I think they really enjoy sampling beverages from around the world and learning how to make them themselves. So I think they learned how to make coffee in Morocco or something like that. Like they make coffee in a really unique way and a really homemade way. Same with tea. Like, they've been collecting recipes all around the world. They're very well traveled as archaeologists. So they have both coffee and tea in there, and I did put a little cake plate on the island. If anyone wants a cookie from Oaxaca, they are in that display. You know where to find them. I also love this beautiful rug from the new expansion pack, and the colors couldn't have been more perfect. It's literally red, green, and this kind of beigey, orange, yellowy brown color. It was literally made for this build and exactly the color scheme that I was going for. And I actually really enjoyed using these Seasons curtains with the little gold leaves on them. Usually I only use these curtains in the plain swatches, and I don't use the ones with the designs. But I thought the gold actually worked really nicely for this build. There's something about them being a little bit ornate that works for kind of the more old-fashioned but still kind of classy vibe that we were going for in this particular build. Downstairs, we have a combined kitchen and dining room. We have kind of the formal entryway, formal living room, and then there's this downstairs powder room, and the room right next to the powder room ends up being the office space, kind of like the archaeology office space. I imagine for storytelling, once we go upstairs, there are 3 bedrooms up there. One of them is quite small, and that's where the teen is. And I imagine that the current teen's bedroom used to be the office that the parents worked out of, or maybe they had 2 separate offices, and the kids shared a room. But the teen now, having grown into a teen, is really feeling stifled by their younger sibling, and they just don't want their younger sibling. They don't want to share a room with them anymore. They want to be an adult. They want to grow up, and they are feeling stifled by their kid sibling. So they requested or demanded, however I want to frame it, or however anyone would want to frame it with the storytelling for this one, is that the teen sim requested their own room. So the very small bedroom upstairs became theirs. Pausing for a second for couch appreciation. Let's all appreciate this beautiful couch with the beautiful throw blanket and the beautiful throw pillows. Probably the best buy item in the entire pack if we're looking at things that don't have new gameplay added, just like purely as a new furniture piece. It's an absolutely gorgeous couch, and I love couches that have the high arms like that, where it looks like you can really sink into them, and they're really thick and comfortable. top tier couch for sure. The detail on it is absolutely gorgeous and something that must be in every couch that comes with The Sims 4 from this point forward. And honestly, they've been doing great with that ever since, I feel like, paranormal stuff. The couches have been just like chef's kiss. They've been incredible. At this point, I spend a ridiculous amount of time looking for a very specific painting that I was convinced existed. I had it in my mind. I was picturing it in my brain, and yet I could not find this picture, this painting. And I was like, I swear it came with Cats and Dogs or City Living. It was one of these paintings that looks exactly like the Poppy Dada painting. Exactly like the Poppy Dada painting, and I could not find it. I was so upset. I did remember these green and red ones from Cats and Dogs, which are perfect. They're right in line with our color scheme, still look like a Poppy Dada kind of painting, looks exactly like the color scheme of the Poppy Dada one that we see in Secret of the Scarlet Hand. But I was so upset that I couldn't find this painting, and I'm starting to think that I imagined this painting existing. Maybe I'm only thinking of the one that we see in Warnings at Waverly Academy in the kind of rec lounge, the recreation lounge on the lower level where Leela hangs out. Maybe I'm thinking of that and I'm not realizing that it wasn't actually a painting in The Sims 4. But if it is, and you guys know what I'm talking about, let me know. And if I'm crazy, feel free to let me know that as well. I did realize that I wanted to try and fit a TV into the living room. The tiny living one ended up working out nicely in the space. It's kind of far away from the couch, but it works. And I don't imagine that this family watches a ton of TV. I think the parents probably watch a lot of the World Culture Network channel, which shows just videos of the Sims 3 World Adventures, which was one of my favorite Sims 3 packs, and is very fun. So I imagine that they watch a lot of that. Here is the very tiny little archaeology office, which again, I don't think used to be the office. I think this probably used to be a storage room or something, but the parents agreed that their teen deserved some space, deserved to be a little bit more independent, and so they agreed to kind of move things around in the house and make this their little work office, and then the teen gets their own room upstairs, using lots of diplomas on the wall to just show how successful and decorated the parents are, the travel posters, the maps, all sorts of things that definitely made me think of Secret of the Scarlet Hand, made me think of archaeology, made me think of science, studying, learning, all of the good things that we get to experience in Secret of the Scarlet Hand. Which honestly, underrated Nancy Drew classic. It's tough because the classical era and the late classical era are just full of such top-tier mysteries that it is hard to pick favorites, which is why I think Secret of the Scarlet Hand often gets left out of the conversation. But what a solid mystery. I mean, easily the most educational, in my opinion. It's still the one that I actually learned the most new information from and actually retained information from. Also just a fun mystery. Fun characters. It's a little goofy. It's a fun time. I'm a big fan. This bathroom ends up being for the teen and child sim. Also, just since it's open to the hallway, could be used by anyone. And I'm using all the bathroom stuff from the new expansion pack. Thank goodness we finally got a new shower and bath combo. We only have two. We have one from the base game, which has a sliding glass door. And we have one from Parenthood, which has a curtain, like, most shower bath combos do here in the States. But most of the swatches are kind of like childish and wild and only work if you're designing a bathroom for children, which sometimes you are, but sometimes I'm not. And at least in all of the homes that I have seen in my time on Earth, living here in the United States of America, almost all houses have bathrooms that have shower bath combos. Like, that's far more common than having a separate shower stall like we have in The Sims 4. So I'm not sure why what the reasoning is for the lack of shower bath combos, but thank goodness we finally got another one. Okay, rant over. I will get off my soapbox now and talk about decorating this very fun parents' bedroom. I really enjoyed how eclectic this bedroom ended up feeling. I feel like a lot of the time when I do parents' bedrooms or main bedrooms, they feel just kind of like you got the furniture at IKEA and you put the set in and everything matches and it looks nice, but it doesn't have a ton of character. I really enjoyed infusing this room with a bunch of character. I am glad I realized that I hadn't put a computer in the house yet, and they would definitely need one. So the computer is in the parents' room here. I liked putting the files on the desk because that reminds me of in the game when we have to get the files for Alejandro before he will tell us the Nahuatl word for snake. These green and red paintings, definitely Papi Dada inspired. Again, the suitcase kind of motif going on everywhere to imply traveling, going to different places. I enjoyed putting this nice little walk-in closet space. It is small, but I feel like even a small walk-in closet, you get a lot of bang for your buck. Like even if it's tiny, it is still a separate place just for your clothes that you don't have to worry about filling somewhere else in the bedroom space. So enjoyed putting this in. I thought it was a nice touch, good for actual functionality for the family that lives here. And now we get to move on to decorating the child's bedroom and the teen's bedroom, and then we'll pop into the game and I will give you a live little walkthrough, a little tour, so that you can see it for yourself. But yes, this kiddo really wants to be a paleontologist, which I think is fun that the parents are both archaeologists and their child wants to be a paleontologist. This is me manifesting a Nancy Drew paleontology mystery, which is always something that I have wanted. I really enjoyed paleontology as a kid and still find it fascinating, and would have loved if, when the Nancy Drew games were being made like they used to, if Nancy could have done some paleontology. I just think that would have been so cool. But anyway, I used anything dinosaur that I could find when decorating this room. Again, lots of green to keep in theme with the rest of the house as well, so it doesn't feel super out of place. I enjoyed putting the little dinosaurs here and sizing up the one, so it looks like the mom Triceratops with the two little babies. I thought that was really cute and reminded me of playing dinosaurs with my little brother growing up, so it just felt very realistic to me. I also enjoyed putting this blanket rug down because I liked to imagine that the kid just like put that there. It's not an actual rug. They just put the blanket down because they wanted to, because they liked how it looked and it was good for whatever game they were playing. Like maybe they were imagining that this was the dinosaur world or something. So yeah, really had a fun time. I feel like with this new expansion pack and with the update, I'm just like even more inspired to tell stories with my Sims, which is something that I've always loved and something that I always do. But it can be hard sometimes to come up with unique ones, and I feel very inspired by all of this stuff. So storytelling while putting this together was very fun. So this is the teen bedroom, and I imagine that the teen is a little bit unique in the family. The teen, I think, wants to be a artist. So we're going kind of inspired by Papi Dada. She's a little bit quirky, wants to be an artist, wants to paint and do artsy things, unlike the rest of the family who are very scholarly and want to go to university to be archaeologists and paleontologists and science and history. I think the teen sim wants a fine arts degree, and there might be a little bit of a rub between what the teen wants and what the parents want. So for storytelling purposes, I really enjoyed that. And I definitely wanted to go into the debug menu and pull out some items from Selva Dorada to actually get some real archaeology inspiration into the build. So put a couple of those things around. Obviously, we don't want the parents hoarding too many artifacts. That's a no-no, I would imagine. But there's a couple in there. And then just some quirky art for the teens' room, putting some art on the floor that is in process, clipping with the curtains a little bit, but I liked how it looked, especially these paintings in particular, I think are gorgeous. So very happy with how this turned out. Very happy with all of the rooms, and even the child and teen rooms, which I feel like still fit the theme of this build and the Secret of Scarlet Hand vibes. So without further ado, let's hop into the game and I will give you a live tour. Okay, here we are in game. I did build this lot, this house in the beautiful new world that came with The Sims 4 Growing Together, San Sequoia. So here we are at our archaeologist family home from the front view with our green and red theme already coming in very heavily. In the backyard, we have kind of just a nice backyard patio with more green and red, these fun kind of swings from the new pack, and then the monkey bar set in red, the bikes in red as well. Kids can ride bikes now. I'm so excited. But if we head inside, let's go in for a little tour. Okay, so if we head in to the front door, we come first into this nice entryway with all of the classic entryway items, some items to remind us of the Secret of the Scarlet Hand inspiration of Beach Hill. And over on the left, we have this nice big kitchen with our cookies from Oaxaca. Help yourselves, you are more than welcome. And just a nice big size. Coffee, tea, all sorts of delicious items in the kitchen there. A nice big dining room and dining table going along with our brown, red, green theme as well. Love these rugs. Those are actually werewolf rugs, but I love them and I think they work great for our color scheme. Over to the right, we have the family living room with this beautiful new couch, some more culture and world inspired art pieces and travel posters to show this family's love for travel and different places around the world, globes and maps, all of that good stuff. Over in this first store, we have a little office space for both of the archaeologist parents. Again, really bringing home the Beach Hill vibes with all of the archaeology influences and references here. Suitcases for world travel, a nice little bookcase set over there. And we do have a powder room over on the right here. I think this could also be retrofitted to be a nice little laundry room if that was something that you would like to have in your Sims home as well. So now if we move up to the second level, we fly above all of the trees. No, we don't. We have this beautiful second level here, nice globe, which also functions as a bar, some green and red kind of Poppy Dada inspired artwork. Love these stained glass windows. I think those are such a fun touch. The first door here we have is the hall bath, definitely primarily used by the kids with this beautiful new shower bath combo. Love to see it. We have the parents' bedroom, the main bedroom over here on the left with the little workspace and all sorts of eclectic travel inspired furniture and decor pieces, Poppy Dada inspired artwork. Over here we have a nice little walk-in closet for the parents with their green and red primarily clothing, and then another little bathroom, again utilizing the items from the new expansion pack. And then if we go down the hallway over on the other side, we have the kids' rooms. So this used to be a shared room for both of the children, now is just for the child sim who dreams of being a paleontologist one day and loves dinosaurs, is obsessed with dinosaurs. So all sorts of cute dinosaur-themed items in the child sim's room. And then the teen sim who has been wanting their independence and so demanded their own room and is really into art. Just like Poppy Dada, they want to become a famous artist. They really want to follow the beat of their own drum, follow their own path, even though their archaeologist parents might imagine a different path for them. So that is our house inspired by Nancy Drew. Oh, the welcome wagon is here. Hello. Sorry, we're busy. This is the house inspired by Nancy Drew, Secret of the Scarlet Hand. I hope you all enjoyed this build. Hopefully you're getting some Secret of the Scarlet Hand vibes, please let me know in the comments if you would know if this build was Secret of the Scarlet Hand, even if I hadn't told you, if you're definitely getting vibes from the game. If you are a Sims player, let me know what you're thinking about the Sims 4 growing together. And thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this build as a whole. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more Nancy Drew and Sims 4 content. Thank you so much for watching, fellow detectives. I will see you soon.